Good morning, everybody. This is Vincent with Listings to Leads. How are you today? We'll give it just a couple minutes. If you can let me know, there's a little comments panel. If you could let me know that you can hear me and see my screen, I'd appreciate it. Let's give it a couple minutes for people to get logged in. And if you're new to us, let me know that as well. Oh, thank you, Krista. Good morning. You're new to us. Okay. How long have you been with us, Krista? I see a few people logging in now, so let's just bear with it just a couple minutes here. It's still cold here. Oh, okay. So you're really new. Great. I'm glad you're here with us, Krista. There are a number of parts of the platform, but I think getting listings is crucial these days. So you're at the right class. Hello, Renita from Houston. How are you? And yeah, cool. Glad to hear that, Krista. Yeah, I think you may not know that we're still waiting. I see people coming in. We've been here for what? 17 years. Crazy to think of that. We launched in 2009, right in the middle of that mortgage meltdown, which kind of crushed the market. But back then we figured out a way to create tools that captured leads. And since then, very early on, was marketing just sold. And that's the point of this class here. When we talk about just sold marketing, it really hits all the main parts of our platform. And that is ads, free social media posts, print, and email. And that's really like a true statement for almost all our whole system, right? If you're talking about landing pages, if you're talking about PDF guides, if you're talking about open houses, right? You got ads, you got free social media, you got email, and you got print. So if you're looking at our website and maybe you're not a client, you can always sign up and start a free trial. I'm going to scroll down here because right here, this guy is talking about Facebook ads, and we're going to go see how to do that. And he's in the Dallas area of Texas, right? He's got an office there with LPT. And this video that you're looking at is actually a training video for his agents to show them how to run just sold ads, because what he's telling them is he got a $4 lead that turned into a $400,000 sale and a $450,000 purchase, right? That's important to do. Now, the other thing, and I'm saying this because we have new people here like Krista, our listing presentation is super powerful. I'm going to about that at the second end of this call here. But also, if you're thinking about more listings, and I think you are thinking about more listings if you're on this call, because that's what Just Sold Marketing does, you need to get involved with our expired marketing program. It's like the number one way of getting listings, right? It's actually fairly easy once you get familiar with what the story is. So inside of the account, everybody has a listings page, and actually use Just Sold Marketing. Even if you don't have your own listings, you might go to your office. You might have a farm market here. I think you might be in an area like Renita. She's in Houston. Maybe she wants more listings in Houston, but she doesn't have her own listing. She can go to her office and say, hey, has anybody sold anybody in this area that I'm trying to farm? If the answer is yes, go here and manually add that sold listing. It's not difficult. You just create manual, and it's not like we're the MLS with all kinds of fields. You just change this to just sold. And even there's something here with a selling agent. So if you're helping agents buy, or if you're helping somebody buy a home, you know that it's actually sold. So you can market it as a selling agent, put in the address, put in the basics, maybe a little property descriptions, and add a few photos. And at that point, that listing is going to sit in your account. Okay. And I actually have a listing in my account already. And let's talk about how to market that. Okay. Now, I do want to, since I see people logging in now, I do want to explain where I think I'm going to go, what we're going to talk about today. And that is, as the name of the class suggests, we're going to talk about how to market a sold listing. But at the second half of this, I want to show you our listing presentation and some of the other tools to help you convert your sold leads to business. Okay. So try not to get distracted. If you don't understand any of this, just jump in and ask a question in the comments and I will get to it. So I have a property here that's sold. And if your property is pending, but you can change it to under contract, or you can say change it to sold when it hits, in case your MLS doesn't trigger that for you automatically, right? But I have one here that's sold. So let's click on market listing and we'll see what's going on. So what we're looking at here is how you market a list at every stage, right? And that means when the home is just listed, it's going to have all these elements. When it's open house, we're going to refresh the language. When it goes under contract, we're going to change the languages. Now, whenever something is pending or under contract or sold, the call to actions are basically saying this home is going to close or it's already closed, and that's going to affect your home value. Click here for your home value. That's the gist of it. Okay. That's why you want to be marketing sold listings. And I'm going to click right here. So the first thing is actually Facebook and Instagram, and that's super important. But I'm going to click down here just because just to talk about one of my pet peeves. I think that's why you got on here, is to hear my pet peeve. So like I said, we've been doing this for 17 years. We've been talking about Facebook for years, and we have thousands of friends who are agents. And I see hundreds of agents, not thousands. I see hundreds of agents share colorful posts on Facebook about the fact that they sold a home. Okay. And there'll be a picture of the home. I said, hey, just sold. And that's cool. And the only call to action is for them to click through and email you. Right. And that's not what Scott and I are about here. We're about, hey, if you're going to put something out there, we want to capture a lead. Right. So here you can see that this was auto posted back in November. If I click here on Facebook, hopefully it's going to get me. Let's see if it works. So what we're looking at is an automated post. Okay. So when you sign up, we ask you to go to your social media, go in your profile, connect for social media auto posting. Now it's driving here. Let's see what the problem is. Oh, that's not good. My browser might be gunked up. But the point is this post that has this picture, when you click on it, it drives them here. Give me a second. Oh, I just messed. Oh man, this is going to be a hard tech day. Give me a second here, guys. I think I can hear. So what we're doing is we're auto posting to your social media accounts. And then when they click on it, it's going to point to this property here, right? And it says this home is sold, and that affects your home value. Click here to get your home value. Put in your address and click there to get your home. And this is really, if you're going to share anything on social media, please give them a way to get to you other than calling you. So that happens for free. And I always see that. But here's really where the first easiest thing that you absolutely have to do, and that's run a Facebook and Instagram ad. When you click on this here, you see this wheel spinning over here. And what that means is we're connecting to your Facebook account. And all you have to do is click that button right there. Bam, create. Okay. And that alone, let's go see if I can find our page again. That literally is generating listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Now, when we started talking here today, I mentioned that we've got a client down there in Dallas, Texas. It's still considered just sold. Yeah, Krista, I think so. We're in February, and I think agents definitely market homes when they are 30, 60, even 90 days old. Let's see. Oh, wow. What? It's listings to leads.com. It's on either side. Sorry, I'm having there's something happening over here. This is our website, which is where we started today. And I wanted to bring I want to bring it back. This is Brian Mathewson, and he's got a video here talking about how he runs a just sold ad and he gets seller leads. And I want to explain, because that video that you're seeing on our website, he actually posted that video in our mastermind group. And I asked him, what did you do to get a $4 lead and turn that into $850,000 of production? the lead wanted to sell a home for 400 and buy another for 450. So I said, what did you do? He said, I just clicked on that and I clicked on that green button. I didn't change anything in here. So that's pretty cool. Now I can tell you, Scott, or not Scott, but Brian here, he runs ads like 8 a week, right? He's got an office, so he runs a lot of them. They're not all turning into deals like that, right? It's a percentage, but these leads can turn into money. And this lady right here is telling me the same thing, right? So what I would tell you though, is there are some things that you can do, maybe make this ad work a little bit better. And right here, if I click on the text up here, I can say things like, under contract. I actually had this conversation with a realtor just a week ago. In 5 days. If you're doing something like that, you want that right up top, right? If you sold above ask, right? You want that on there. Now, I know this is not happening everywhere because I know it's a hard market, but if this is happening for you, you want this up top because that's going to slow down somebody's vision. Okay. Or maybe you got multiple offers, right? So you can do that, right, to customize it. You don't need to go too far here. A tight radius, 15 miles around your town. That's all you got to think about. Okay. Now, I want to, this is a little more advanced, but I definitely want you to be aware of this. Down here, it says advanced options and it says create new form. And you want to look at this because this is why our clients love our Facebook ad software. When somebody sees it, they click on it and this little window pops up and it says, what is your name, email, and phone number? And I know you can see here, it says contact information, but when a consumer clicks on your ad, it says, would you like this information? And these fields are auto-populated from their profile. Okay. So nobody is typing this in. And this is why it's very accurate. I don't know if you've ever been logged out of your Facebook account, but to get back in, they will tell you, we're going to send you a text to that number, or we're going to email you that number. So if you have the wrong information, you're not getting back in your account. So that's very accurate. Not all the time, but definitely 89% of the time. Here, this is TCA language. Even if they are on a do not call list, this language is saying you can call them. And here, now they can go get their valuation. Okay, so that's how a just sold ad works. And I want to slow us down here, right? Because on the first page, you see here, it says, what's your time frame to sell? And would you sell it at the right price? The next one has your full name and email. So if I click form questions here, you can see that there are a lot of other questions, right? And maybe I want to turn off my time frame to sell. And maybe you want to say, hey, what is your magic number? No obligation, right? And they can free form write that price, what they like, what they think their home is worth, basically, right? So you can change those. There's a lot of different questions. You can customize those if you want, or you can just not customize anything and just say, you know what, I'm not even going to put this. I'm just going to say that home is sold, and that can work as well, right? You just need to hit that button. Now, if you're new to us, and Krista is new to us, I'm answering a few questions that you may not understand. When you sign up, you connect your Facebook ad account. This ad will be sponsored by your Facebook. It is on your Facebook business page, right? So you don't have to add money to list. It's charging your card over on Facebook. Now, I do want to point out one thing, right? And that is when you have a $50 ad, as you see here, Facebook sets a price per lead. Okay. And on an ad like this, a just sold property, these leads typically cost $7 each. When I bring up Brian down there in Texas, his leads were costing around $4 each. So it's not a set number. It's actually driven by auctions and algorithms, the price of your leads. And it changes every day of the week. So the average around the US is $7 a lead for a just sold lead. Okay. Now, we've also got this killer tool, and this is something that most agents don't even use. We create this. So it says share on seller social media. We actually email to you every time your listing hits our system. So let's look at this real quick. This we email to you, and I think I'm hoping that Scott and I reword this because I think it's confusing to most agents. And frankly, when we ask an agent to read directions, it's almost impossible for them to read any kind of directions. And we keep these directions like 3 sentences, like it's really simple, but still too hard, right? So I'm trying to get to my face because I want you to see what we are asking you to do. We send you an email and we actually tell you, send this to your client, the homeowner, and ask them to share it on their social media. Okay. So this is not you. This is not you putting anything on it because we're auto posting to yours, right? This is, and I'm wondering, I think my browser's kind of messed up. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So it's going to pull up a picture of the home, but here's the real point of it. It says our home is sold and we want to recommend you at your office for selling our home. And what's great about this is it's not a paid ad that expires in 7 days. It actually lives here forever. And what's even more important is all of your current friends and family and colleagues, they're going to see this when they log in, right? Again, it doesn't expire. And if they're thinking about property, it says right here, you did a great job and here's your phone number and email. You definitely want, if you like referrals, you want to share that. Because if somebody clicks on that, it's going to take them to this website that we auto-generated for you. And this is the just sold single property website, your listing, right? And so now instead of running ads on social media and getting them from random people, you're capturing leads from your current clients, friends, and family and colleagues. These are much better leads for you. Okay. So definitely open your email and you'll see something that we're sending you. And it has this language about Sally Seller. And I think that's what throws people off. They don't know what in the world we're talking about. But that is something you want to, if we go over here to edit, just as a, and that actually, no, let's go back here where we were. That was, and it says there's a green button and it says add seller info. Your seller's email address, put in dear, whatever their name is, and click send. And that tells us to automatically send it. So if you do this in the beginning, and this is actually really important to start when you get a new listing, enter their email in there and let them know that this has gone to you. Because what happens if you enter their email address at the very beginning and you're just listed, we're going to send them an email and it's going to say, hey, we just listed our home. We're listed with Krista over at her office and we're excited. It's very basic. But again, if they click on it, it's going to land on the landing page. You can capture buyer lead. When you have an open house, you save an open house with us. We're going to have another one. It's going to say, hey, we're having an open house this weekend and Vincent Meza at LL Realty is holding an open house. We are not putting your name and email there in that one. It's just click here to learn more or share it with your friends. Again, we're letting everybody know that you are working with them. And then again, we change it when it's pending. And then when it's sold, it looks like this. Okay. So that's definitely something that you want to use. Now, I want to keep going down and talk about this letter. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen this. And let me know, is there anybody here? Because you have a lot of people on the call. Has anybody here ever used this? This is called the Nearby Homeowner Letter. This has been for many years our number one tool for getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Okay, now this call is just sold market, right? And when we talk about marketing a product, it's designed to get you seller leads. And I can tell you what we all should be thinking of is what's the quality of my leads? Because the quality of the leads really speaks to, are you going to be able to convert it into an actual listing? And the quality of the leads that come from this piece of paper are the highest, some of the highest quality listing leads. Now, I'm going to wave a little pamphlet here. This is our expired marketing booklet. And I can tell you, you're going to probably end up getting more listings by working our expired marketing program. However, prior to that, for many years, our clients were mailing this out, either 100 just listed or 100 just sold or both. And we have some clients mailing out 200 to 500 per listing because it's a very simple piece of paper, right? Want to let you know, I sold something in your area. Scan here, go here, and you're going to land on that page and become a seller lead. But that affects your home value. And click here or not click here take this piece of paper to your own computer, type in that address, type in your address, then give us your email, and now you're going to get an instant home value. You got to open that piece of mail that you mailed to them, walk to their computer and type that in, and then give you their address and email. Very few people are going to do that. Sometimes it's 1, 2, or 3 out of 100 will do that. When that happens, you need to pay attention and be working with those leads. And here's a great question. Chris is saying, I'm struggling with the layout of the letter. Maybe it's just me. It's not just you, Krista. I can tell you, we have a lot of agents signing up every day, and there's something in common. There's 2 major themes I hear from our clients, and don't let me upset you. One is, I hear this, I'm not very tech savvy. I hear this daily for many years. And I also can tell, and we can tell because we're really trying, we've got a lot of people who are excited about using it. I can also tell that many of our clients like to overthink this. And you will see that if you're in our mastermind groups, you're going to see agents who are saying, you know what, I stopped thinking about what I was thinking about and I just did what you guys are saying, and I am getting results. Krista, you don't need to struggle with this. There are 3 versions of this same letter. They look different. That's about, what do you think looks the nicest? What do you like the most? Okay. The key is, it's not actually the layout of this letter, because that, frankly, is not a big deal. What is important is, are you getting this to people who want to sell a home, who own a home, right? That's number 1. So let's talk about this company here, Express Copy. When you come here, this will be green. And then you go set up an account with Express Copy, and you put your mailing address and you put a credit card. Yeah. And Mark is saying right here, let's share that. The best thing to do is perform the task. That is totally right. And what we're talking about is tasks here. And I'm giving you some details, but what I'm not asking you to do is think on this. Scott and I built this here. What you're looking at is at least 5 years old. And we have ranked it. We've ranked what's going to get you the most results. You know what? It's at the top, because we know by the time you get down here, you're already distracted, right? So if you focus up here, it just keeps getting better and better at the top. So do the task. Now, back to this one. If you connect Express Copy, you will have this green button that says print and email, print and mail. And then you can click this button here, and you can say, hey, you know what? I want Express Copy to mail this in a 1, 2, 3 mile radius, whatever you decide, but they only mail it to people that owned a home for more than 6 years. This, frankly, is awesome. This is what you need to do with this letter. You don't need to think about the layout. You need to get this in front of people who've owned a home for more than 6 years or 5 years. Okay. So a lot of our clients go out to companies like RedX, Remind, ListSource, ArchAgent, Vulcan 7, My Plus Leads, and they buy lists of homeowners in their town, right? And they mail this to them. And sometimes they mail out 100, sometimes they mail out 200. We launched this partnership with this company probably 3 years ago. And I can tell you, it took us a couple of years to find the right company to do it. And we were very excited when we did it. So we're making it easier for you. There's only one caveat, one downside to this. And so we've actually received the mail that they're sending. They sent us some sample copies. And when you get that piece of letter, that piece of mail, it's a white envelope, and the text is kind of like computer printed. It's not, it looks kind of like junk mail, right? That's from your address to their address, but it doesn't look very custom, right? And so we typically, in the past, when I would train on this, I would tell you, download this yourself, go get yourself a nice colorful envelope, and go over and mail it. Right? And so a lot of our actually, they'll get colorful envelopes. You'll see it in our mastermind group for year after year. People say, oh, these are my envelopes. But I want to show you something that one of our clients from Louisiana did. And she's been a client of ours for close to 15 years. I think maybe longer, actually. It's because this time keeps going. I'm searching in our mastermind group. If you're a client, you should be in this mastermind group. And if you're thinking of getting listings, you want to write these names down: Pat Motley, Dustin Fox, Chris Winstead, and Brian. They've been long-term clients, and they all have stories of how they get listings. But I want to share with you this story because this is Pat Motley talking about how she mails out 100 pages. This is the just sold nearby homeowner letter. Okay. This is what is right here. Now, she clicks this button here, this green button, and that grabs the sold data from her neighbor, from that zip code, right? Let me close this one because this is not the right one. And so that's why this data you see here, this is how many homes sold, right? And so she does that. She pulls that in automatically through us. But after she prints it 100 times, she flips the things over and she prints on the back like this with Microsoft Publisher, okay? And this is really useful. So the front of the piece of paper looks like this. The back of the piece of paper looks like this. Then she hand folds it and hand writes the address. And she's got these little like moon-shaped tapes to close it, right? Why would Pat go through all that work when we can do it in 2 clicks right here? And the answer to that question is right here. She had 4 homeowners call her on the first 100 just listed. And if you look at the notes down here, you'll note that another 4 homeowners called her on the second batch. So that was 1 home, 200 pieces of mail that turned into 8 more listings. Okay. Now, Pat was so kind because this generated so much discussion in our mastermind group that she shared the little plugin template for Microsoft Publisher right here. So if you have Microsoft Publisher and you want to kind of format letters like this, so you can handwrite them, or I don't know, have your kids handwrite them, that plugin is right here. Okay. Now you may have other software that does that for you, but if you're using Microsoft Publisher, that's there. And that's how you get the most results from this piece of paper. She has a list of homeowners that she bought from Remind.com. And so she mails relevant tools to those people. Okay. Since we're here and we're talking about it, let's talk a little bit more. I mentioned this name earlier. I said, you should see this. You should know this guy's name. Chris became a client of ours, I want to say the first year of COVID. Remember back then? The funny thing about him is he moved from one state to another. Okay. And what he did, and you can see it right here, what he did is he says, hey, I got 5 listings in 3 months. And he said, what I do is I mail that nearby home. He moved to San Antonio, Texas from another state, had no name recognition. Yes, he was a realtor. He joins Keller Williams. He creates videos like this. He sponsors these on Facebook. So people start to get to know his name. And he mails this letter out every 2 weeks on a different home saying, we just sold this, right? Click here to get your home value. And from that one action alone, he gets 5 states in 3 months. Following year, he becomes a top listing agent in this office where he just moved. You can see he just keeps making videos. You keep going, he starts his own office. And the first thing he does is he says, hey, here's how you customize listings to leads tools to get even more listings. So it's an interesting story. That all is based on this letter, the nearby homeowner letter. And each of you have that for any listing in your account. Okay. Now there are postcards and door hangers, and you can download these. You can use Express Copy to mail these if you want, but you might have your own printers that you use. And that works really well. We even have them designed for Every Door Direct. And that's a low cost way of getting things out there. For me personally, I sort my mail before it gets in the house. Postcards don't even get in my house. However, some people like them. I think they're easy. So it's a good way to use. Now, here's something that I think is another tool that a lot of our clients ignore. And that is that you actually have an e-flyer for your database. And if you have a CRM, you probably have seller leads in it. And you might have had buyer leads in it before, but now they might be thinking of selling. And this flyer is saying, hey, this home is sold. Click here or here and land on that page and go become a seller lead. The bottom of the half says that affects your home value. Go here or here and land on my home value page and become a seller lead. So this button here in the future is going to say copy. but you can copy this with a signature, and that has that signature at the bottom and all these hyperlinks. And you're basically copying the HTML. And I'm going to click edit email. You don't have to do this, but I want to show this to you so you understand what's happening. When you click copy HTML, you're copying this freaky stuff. Okay. This is HTML, but your CRM needs that. So when you go to your CRM, that's what you're doing is you're pasting this weird stuff. And then you click a button in your CRM so it looks good like that. And then you send it to all your leads. That's how you use that. Honestly, we have 80 PDF guides for you. We have landing pages, and every one of your listings has a flyer. If you've got more than 200 leads in your CRM, you should be emailing all those leads once a week with one of our flyers because we have call to actions built in. Now, there are short form video scripts. So if you like to do video for social media, we've actually got your script here. And I think beyond that's it for Just Sold, because you can share your virtual tour. We're going to auto post on your social media that you have listed. So this is going to go there, and the single property website is going to happen like immediately, right? The single property website's going to be behind it. Craigslist, I wouldn't use that. If you're a blogger, you certainly could do that. And that's going to generate sold leads for you as well. YouTube, we don't repost there. So marketing your listing is really the number one thing, the things about here today. So that's how you market. Are there any questions about that? Because what I want to talk about now is if you do that easy thing, which is run a Facebook ad, how do you convert the leads? Because I can tell you a lot of clients they learn about us, they're excited, they can't believe how many leads they capture, but it's actually a lot more important when you convert those. Okay. So let's talk about this. Okay. Let's talk about this because one thing, since we're talking about Just Sold, every agent should be running Just Sold ads. And I'll tell you, was it Krista? You asked, it's old. I think each of you, if you want more listings, you want to run a Just Sold ad every week. Okay. This is a $50 ad. And I can tell you, I don't see the ads always, something's making an error here. Let me shut this down. Let's just do this again, right? We just create an ad, $50. It's going to run for a week. And let's look at this just so we can think about what's going to happen here. So there's going to be the questions that you asked that we talked about earlier. You're going to get their name, email, and phone number. They're going to see this. And some people will walk away at this point. This is just like privacy language. What we need them to do is click submit and get here. And then click that button and not drive. When they click that button will drive them. Give me a second to this page. Right. And so we're capturing the lead in the first form. We're getting their lead information, name, phone number, and email, their address, and then email again to get the information. So I want to talk about that, okay? Because what happens if you don't get their address? You actually know from us in your lead that they responded to this ad. So you know that they're a seller lead. And you have their name, email, and phone number. So you can go over here to the leads. We'll email you the lead. If you don't get their address in the next minute, text them. Don't call them, text them and say, hey, I saw that you saw my ad. I'm on Facebook about our sold property and getting your home value. We didn't get your address. Could you text that to me here? Okay. And at that point, hopefully they text it back to you. Go over here to your landing page section and open up your free home value one, right? Which is the first one. And let's look here. That's this here, right? And every one of you has this already sitting in your account. Now, I want to point out, this is an aside, like you're from all over the country, right? I don't know where each of you are. I know somebody here is in Houston, right? But if this photograph in the background doesn't look like your area, I recommend that you click this button here and put in a picture that looks like your market. Okay. Because this is a generic photo that we bought years ago. some of you live in areas that do not look like this at all. So take a moment, come over to landing pages and change that picture, right? And you got name, email, and phone number, but no address. Okay. Come here, drop in the text them first, say, hey, we didn't get your address. We want to get you that home value. If you could send it back to me, I'll get it for you in just a moment. Drop in their address here, click this button. It's going to ask for their email address, and you have that in the original lead. Put it there, and it's going to email them, here's your low, medium, and high value of their home. Okay. They're going to get it in an email. And if you want, you're going to be looking at it right here on this page. You can text them and say, hey, you should have this in your email, but here is the value. Here's the low, medium, and high. I actually had this discussion with an agent yesterday because she got a lead somehow and they wanted to know their home value. And she said, yeah, what do I do? And I said, do this, put it in there. And so she texted him and she said, actually, the home value was like 350 at the high. And she said, I actually think it's worth 400. I said, text them that as well. Like, this is what the estimate is, but I think it's worth more. Text that to them. And that's key. That's the first thing. If you're getting leads with name, email, and phone number without the address, text them for the address and then pop it in this page that's already sitting in your account. Okay? Now, there's one more thing. Now that you have their address, let's get into the thing that is just crushing it for our clients right now. And that is their listing presentation. So let's talk about that. I see a question here. So Sunday just sold from another agent. I guess the letter says this home just sold instead of I sold this home. That's correct. That's right, Linda. A lot of agents do that. To give you another story of that. I don't know, Linda, where you are in the country. I do want to say thank you because I see you in a lot of our classes and I appreciate when our clients are investing some time to understand what they have here. But many of you work in areas where you're working in 4 or 5 towns, farm markets, right? Was it Dallas has the Woodlands and it has these areas here. You're working on those areas, right? Those would be considered farm markets, right? But you might not have listings there, but colleagues in your area, in your office, might have sold something in those areas. You can go up here and add that here and add it as sold, right? And then you got all the ability to market the way we are. So that's a long answer there, Linda, to your question. So let's talk about that. You've got a seller lead because you ran a sold ad and then you texted them and you got their address. What should you do then? You should drop it in this page and get them a home value. They're going to get it right there. You should text them, confirm that they got it. And then we're going to update them every month with the home value. So as it updates, they're going to get that and it's going to come from you. But there's something more that you should do. And you should do this with every, oh, you're in LA. Okay, got it. You can go up here to add listing, do it manually. And you can say, let's go here. When you click this button the first time, it's always going to say just listed because that's the default setting. But I'm going to do just a listing presentation. And this is why it's really important. You put the homeowner's name here and you put the address and you have their name and because you got that in the lead and you got the address because you texted them and got the address. That's how you got them the home value. And then you save and add one photo. Now you can probably find the photo of their home on the internet, on Google, maybe in the MLS. You just need one photo. You can even take a photo with your smartphone and drop it in there, right? Why do you want to do that? If you really want that listing, I'm going to show you why you want to do that. I have 4 listings inside of my account. We'll give it a second to bake. One are FSBO and one is a straight listing presentation. So all of them share the same attribute. This is a listing presentation and I can click on the address and give it a second. I can click on Flipbook and Flipbook is like an online magazine. Okay. Let's see here. So let's give it a second. So this is the Flipbook. And so if you have been learning about our expired marketing, you hopefully already know about this, right? This is an electronic magazine version. Okay. And this has the homeowner's name on it, their address on it, and their home on it. So if you've seen our listing presentation, you know that we have like generic photos of different homes, right? But in this listing presentation, it's only their home. They can see what their home's going to look like on Facebook, what it's going to look like on social media, what it's going to look like on YouTube, in your print marketing, right? So if you were trying to close listings, we are spelling it out in 25 pages. Okay. And if you take this in front of somebody, pause on this page and say, hey, homeowner, scan this with your smartphone. And how do you email it? Scott. Oh, I'm Vince, Mark. Let me show you. So when you scan this, their home is going to pop up on a mobile optimized website. And that's it. That alone closes the deal. But as you go through it, this listing presentation literally gets people to ask, where do I sign? That's what you want. And let's get up here. Copy this hyperlink, which is in the web address, and email that to yourself, Mark. And then when you do that, open your email in your phone, copy the link, and text it to the person. Now, from your email, you can email it, but that is the web address. You want the front page, copy this link, and go there. Okay. Why so many times adding the listing is not going through with the MLS number, and I have to enter it manually. Ruben, so let's answer that while we're here. So when we pull your listings, Ruben, the short answer is your office or MLS does not work with listhub.com. Okay. And that is a national syndication platform owned by move.com. And every office should have a free account there, right? Because it's for syndication. And so with your email address here, that would allow us to auto sweep your listings via ListHub. ListHub connects to your MLS, and your MLS sweep the ListHub. ListHub pushes them to us. Okay, that's how it should work. But there are many MLSs that don't work with ListHub, and it sounds like yours, Ruben, does not. And that's why we can't pull anything in automatically, because we can't even see it out. There is a button where you can grab it, and if it doesn't grab it, you can ask their support team and they'll pull it in. So Krista, there aren't really a template email for these custom listing presentations that I'm showing you. Okay. So you can create the custom listing presentation. And honestly, I'll tell you this. I don't recommend emailing anything to anybody. Okay. Like, you can do it, but ask yourself, how many emails do you get every day? How many? Because I probably am close to 200 to 300 every day. Now I have 3 email addresses, right? Work, personal, more personal, or old personal. So if you're going to send an email and hope for an action, fingers crossed. I definitely want you to do that, because something somewhere might actually go through. But I have Gmail, personal, and I have Yahoo from the old days. Do you think I go through every email that I get? Because I can just tell you, I don't. Right. Now, when it comes to our listing presentation up here, this is the generic. It's not the custom one for one home. There is an email for your database. And I would definitely recommend using that, right? Because one day somebody might log into their email and go check their email, and this says, download it. Download my listing presentation. No problem. Like, I would do that. Can we get a printed booklet to take around to our listing? It would take about a week, Linda. Yeah. Let me share this with everybody here. That's a good question. Let me go here. Oh, I should mention this to you. If you're a client of ours, we have a private mastermind group in Facebook just for expireds and seller leads. Okay. So what I'm saying is, this private mastermind group focuses on getting listings. Okay. Everything you got to do, whether it's email or listing presentation or whatever. So if you're not in here, get in this group. Okay. And the reason why I came here is because we actually have a page that I want to share with you right now. And this is where you can order the magazines. Krista, you're new to us, so you really didn't know. I think it was Krista that asked. No, Linda asked. So the printed booklet, yes, you should have, I'm holding this printed booklet right here, and you can see that it can be branded to you with your logo and your color all over this thing, right? So you definitely want this in your hand. Okay. This is huge. Now I'm going to send this page to you, all of you right now, and you can find it on our blog. And Mark is asking text, and that must mean that's question. Yeah. So Linda, I just sent a link to you, to all of you. And it has where you can join our workshops, which we do 4 times a week right here. Okay. It also has this link, and it tells you these people are closing listings all over with expired marketing. It also has this link, and this is where you can order books. And you can order set up here, and you can order 10, 20, or 30. And I'll tell you this, I just had a call, and this is a cover letter, which is actually really useful. Watch this video. I had a call, and I'm going to share this with you. This is a little more about expired. We have a new agent who just signed up, and she's had a lot of family difficulties past few years and does not have a huge budget. Okay. And that happens to a lot of us various times. Doesn't have a huge budget. And I'm like, listen, expireds is really going to be the fastest way. And so let me just say timeout, right? You say timeout. We have talked about how to market sold listings for a half hour. And what we're talking about is how to market and how to capture leads. And we talked a little bit about how to convert leads. But I want to be honest with you. Converting leads, you really got to think that your range is 1 to 5%. So you need 100 leads to convert 1 or maybe 5, right? Lead conversion is a whole world, and you definitely got to get good at it. And I gave you a really good way of handling seller leads, right? Make sure they get the home value and get them a custom listing presentation. Okay. But when you are talking about expireds, you are meeting these people. You are shaking their hand. And if you go find these, and if you want my expired email, calling, leaving a voicemail, it's great. It's really unassuming and non-salesy. He waits 3 months before he calls. This guy door knocks. He has this listing presentation I'm holding in my hand, which you can now order from the link I just sent you. And his voicemail up here is basically, hey, I saw that you didn't sell your home. I want to let you know I'm a realtor. I just want to meet you and shake hands with you, introduce myself, and give you something. And what is he giving them? This, which is branded to him, the expired, how to get your expired home sold, right? This guy, they're all just cleaning up on listings. And this young lady here, she looks a little bit younger than these guys, right? She's actually been out of high school for 3 years and a realtor for about 18 months. So she doesn't know all the things to do. She calls people day one when they expire. She goes, looks in her MLS, and she sees, oh, I want to get that one. And she calls them, leaves 2 voicemails. Of course, those people are being called by dozens or hundreds of agents. So nobody is responding to her. Then she texts them once and says, would you like my listing presentation? And they don't respond. And so she goes and creates a unique listing presentation, just like I showed you how. And she texts this number to them. Okay. And what does that do? That generates 4 listings in 6 weeks. That was recorded in November. She's probably closing in on 10 listings right now. By April, she's probably going to have 20 listings in a 6-month period. She's very excited. She's totally learning how to use our system. She hasn't been out of high school it'll be 4 years this year. And she's going to probably be the top listing agent in there. Is this recorded, Andrew? It sure is. And that brings us, Mark, I have not forgotten your question about how to get there. I'll handle that in just a second. But I do want to point this out, because just sold marketing, you're going to capture leads. And we talked a little bit about converting them. But the point of this is, how do you get listings? And I think the number 1 way is working expireds. The number 2 way is actually holding open houses. And there's a whole class. Scott does classes on that every 2 weeks. After that, it would be just sold marketing. And actually, most important of just sold marketing, which we talked about, is running the Facebook ads. Okay. So I'm going to send this link to everybody right now. This is and Andrew, in answer to your query, this is being recorded, and this recording will be on this page either today or tomorrow. But if you scroll down this page, and I'm going to answer any more questions, but that's the end of my story here. If you scroll down about 3 months ago on this page, you're going to see those people that are on our homepage. The videos on our homepage are shorter, right? Because it's our homepage and people just want quick answers. 40 seconds, a minute, 44 seconds, 50 seconds. But the longer versions are here. And if you want more listings, which I'm assuming you do, because that's why you're on this call, you want to watch this call, which was 2 months ago, 5 minutes and 50 seconds. This guy's been in the industry for 20 years. He tells you exactly how he's door knocking. That's an awesome use of 6 minutes. Scroll down here. Terry Ann's telling you that she's another rookie agent, straight up rookie, brings her listing presentation, and they ask her, where do I sign? So she doesn't have a whole lot of knowledge of the industry marketing, but she has her listing presentation and she presents it. Now, this one here is JJ, and that's what I've been talking about on her homepage. And she tells you exactly what she does. And I'm going to tell you exactly what she does. I told you, in case you missed it, she calls people twice. They don't answer. She texts them once. Would you like to see my listing presentation? They don't answer. She creates a unique listing presentation with her name on the cover and here, and she copies this link. Mark, are you listening? She copies this link. She pops it into an email. She sends the email to herself. She opens the email on her smartphone, copies the link, and texts it through her smartphone to the homeowner. Now, I was talking with an agent yesterday who I guess has an Apple computer, and she's able to text right out of her computer. So she's just copying that link and texting it through her computer. And, you can do that. I have WhatsApp, and WhatsApp can do that. So there might be some ways. But the long way is copy this hyperlink, which is the front page of your custom listing presentation. And you should have many if you want to be closing listings. I got one for an expired. I got one straight listing. Got one for canceled. And we have clients closing FSBOs this way too. There's a whole class on FSBOs. But you click on this address and click on Flipbook here. And now I have my Flipbook listing presentation for an expired listing. Mark, did you follow that one? Did you see how that's going? So I've created an expired listing presentation. I'm going to click on Flipbook. Let's see here. It's going to work. That's not it. That's a different one. And so let's answer that question from Krista. Krista, did you answer? You asked about getting your leads to the CRM. And right now, everybody, by the way, let me finish this. That's the cover. This is one unique home. It's their home throughout. It's the homeowner's name and address on the cover. Get to the front page right here. Copy this. If you can text it to your computer, do that. If not, email this to yourself. Open the email in your phone, copy that link, and text it to your target. Okay? Can we get the printed? So, Linda, I did send you the link on how to do this. When I enter someone else's listing, yeah, Ruben, I see. That's fine. Yeah, that problem about pulling a listing in, that's a problem with the MLS. Okay, cool. So I didn't get the answer about. So let's answer the question, even though we didn't get the answer. Copy and paste. Yeah. Do you ever do one-on-one calls? Yeah, I do. I set up teams around the country, and that's usually what I'm doing with teams. So let's talk about, what was it? I needed one more thing to do here. I'm going to tell you. Oh yeah. So Krista asked, and she didn't answer, but in case you're not aware, if you go to your profile, there's a big purple bar, and underneath it says auto posting. Okay. And that's where you connect your social media accounts so that we can auto post your listings, whether it's just listed, open house, under contract, or sold, right? That's auto posting. But here is CRM integration. And so if you connect your CRM, and we have CRM, many of the top APIs from the top companies, if your company isn't here, they might have a unique email address that you can paste here. And that tells us to send your leads there, and then they scrape them and drop them in your CRM. If you don't have a CRM, I really think you should be using our drip campaign. We have seller lead campaigns and buyer lead campaigns in English and in Spanish. Okay. You just turn them on. And I can tell you, we have a high open rate. One of our clients is from KB Core, who's one of the national trainers, and we've A/B tested. You have a higher open rate than us. And I think it's because of the way that we write these, that they get in the inbox. They don't get caught in like updates or the whatever folder. And that's important. But I think also more important than that is we have a lot of clients saying, this is actually closing appointments for us. If you look inside these drip campaigns, you will realize very easily that every other message, every other email has either a PDF guide able to download in it, embedded in it, or a landing page. And obviously it's going to be relevant to sellers. Here's a free guide to increase, right? It's our PDF guide. So if you don't want to mail your PDF guides by hand, turn on our drip campaign, right? That's what it's there for. If you have drip campaigns and they're creating business for you, carry on. If you don't, go here and turn on our follow-ups and let us do that for you. Where do I find the campaigns? You go to follow-ups over here on the left and you turn on, give me a second. You just turn them on there and you just flick on. You see these are off. If I click to go on, and that's it. That's any lead you capture, whether it's a buyer lead or seller lead, it's going to get that there. And I will speak a little bit about this as well, because you don't know this, but we have been building listings to leads, rebuilding in parallel our platform for 3 years, for just about 3 years. And oh my God, I'm so happy to say, I think we're actually going to launch this week. And I've been saying that for months, but I think we're finally there, because otherwise, Anyway, we're going to be there. And at that point, we are very quickly going to look at these two tabs, follow-ups and leads. We're going to combine them into one called pipeline. And this is going to be a place for you. We're going to have filters on your hottest buyer leads, your hottest seller leads, and then all your leads, and give you more ability to work through your leads and turn them into actual business. Okay. So Krista, if you're new to us, turn those on, because having our follow-ups automatically going to your leads, if they start opening them and downloading things, we can rank that, we can tell, and we're going to tell you that is your hot lead. Do we have something like done for you? Yes, we do. And it's $500 a month. Email me at vince@listingstoleads.com. And we do a whole lot of this stuff. We won't be able to work expired for you, because that's a door-to-door thing. So if you want to kind of work that, you need to do that. That's going to be like hands-on. Anything else? Any other questions? It's been an hour. I appreciate you being here. I hope this helped you. This will be on this page right here, either later today or tomorrow. And also, I know it gets boring, but there's a lot of valuable content on this page. And we have clients going from, you can see our homepage. You follow this young lady, right? JJ. She is in a tiny office in some small town in the northern part of Iowa. She's not in a big town where she can like make all kinds of business. She is crushing it. I'm going to share with you one more deal about why I shared this story about Chris Winstead. Let's go talk about this guy. And let me ask you, does anybody know the name Dustin Fox? Because Dustin has been a client of ours for probably 10 years now. And when he started, you know how we found out about him? We found out because he came in our mastermind group and he said, hey guys, I mailed out your nearby homeowner letter. You remember that nearby homeowner letter I showed you? He says, yeah, I mailed out the nearby homeowner letter and I've gotten 10 listings with the average commission of, I think it's $17,000. So we got to know Dustin. This is him in 2018. Okay. And he's saying, hey, this is our highest ROI. I mailed out $17,000 commission. I mailed this first class to 250 homes, and he has 10 listings. Okay. You notice he's using black envelopes, right? That's a long time ago. But if you look and you go forward or into current, you're going to see that Justin just wrote a book at the beginning of February of 2024. Okay. And he sells it on Amazon. So a lot of people actually find us because of this book. But here's the thing. When he learned about us in 2018, he had only been a realtor for 2 years. He was working at Office Depot before that. Okay. Goes and gets his real estate license, and he and his wife become the top team of an office of 1,000 agents. Okay. So he goes from rookie to having a team of 24 agents, and then goes off and writes his own book about here's how you market. And one of the sections in that book is about listings to leads. I'm telling you this because it's worth your while to understand what you have access to now, and to make sure that you get more listings and get more buyers and build your brand and build your company. If you got a team, we have team accounts. We have our own recruiting platform. Grow your business. Listings to Leads is going to help you do that. Thank you for being here with me today. Have a great 2026. We've got a fantastic support team. I am at vince@listingstoleads.com. If you want to talk about getting the work for you plan or done for you, or if you need a team account or broker account, thank you. And thank you, Ruben. And get in the mastermind group, see what other agents are doing, whether it's the expired ones. Definitely get in the expired ones. Get in our expired calls, because for most of the country, at least 1/3 of the country, expireds are exploding. Our system is closing them all over the place. Get involved there if you want more listings. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one.